What's going on, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. The Dodgers signed Tyler Anderson. They bring back Danny Duffy. They make some other transactions that we're going to dive into in just a second. But quick reminder, for all latest Dodgers news and rumors all season long, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you really want to support the channel, smash that like button. And as always, I'm with your takes down below in the comments section. Today's Dodgers Nation question of the day: is the signing of Tyler Anderson something, nothing, or everything? I want all your thoughts on not only Tyler Anderson, but the current state of the Dodgers rotation. I'm going to do a deep dive video, a preview on what I think the Dodgers should do with their rotation as far as trades, as far as who they have right now. But today we're going to focus on these recent signings. But let me know down below. And for all latest Dodgers news, head over to DodgersNation.com. So fire up the signing siren. We have more signings to report today. The Dodgers added 2 pitchers. They brought back Danny Duffy and also signed Tyler Anderson. Jeff Passan tweeted out left-hander Tyler Anderson's deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers, which by Robert Murray first reported is for 1 year and $8 million, sources tell ESPN. Other starting options include Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias, Tony Gonsolin, Andrew Heaney, and David Price. And then before that, Robert Murray also reported the signing of Danny Duffy. He tweeted out, free agent pitcher Danny Duffy in agreement with the Los Angeles Dodgers on a 1-year deal with an option pending physical, according to a source familiar with the situation. First to mention talks, Mark Feinsand. He would also go on to tweet, Danny Duffy has passed his Dodgers physical. Sources said he is expected to return around mid-season and pitch out of the bullpen. The deal contains a club option for 2023 that is worth $7 million. That can become $10 million if he pitches 15 games and 15 innings this season. So first, let's start with Danny Duffy. So if you remember last season, the Dodgers dealt for Duffy at the deadline, and they knew he was injured. They didn't expect him to go right away, but they had hope that he'd be ready by sometime in September and maybe even the postseason. He could be a potential multi-inning guy at that Dodgers bullpen. He could be a depth piece if they lost another starter due to injury, but unfortunately, he just couldn't get healthy. He was dealing with some flexor strain issues. He was dealing with issues really all throughout the 2021 season. But when he did pitch, he was decent. He posted a 2.51 ERA and 61 innings of work, had a 12-13 whip. So if he can get healthy, he can definitely help this Dodgers team. And it's really just a matter of him getting healthy. So if he gets right, he can definitely help this team out of that Dodgers bullpen. And you know, the coaches and the training staff, they've had some time with him. So that gives me confidence knowing that they have identified something in him where he can be effective and he can get healthy and he can contribute at some point this season. And look, he's a guy from California. He grew up liking the Dodgers. He's a big Kobe Bryant fan. So look, he's also very popular amongst his teammates. So it's nice to have Danny Duffy back in the fold. And he's a guy that could really help this team. And this move could pay dividends at some point this season. And then the Dodgers added left-handed pitcher Tyler Anderson. Anderson pitched for 2 teams last season. First, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then the Seattle Mariners. With the Buccos, he posted a 4.35 ERA, a 1.200 whip, and 103 and a thirds innings pitch. And then he was dealt to the M's and had a 4.81 ERA and 63 and 2/3 innings pitch. So not a great year, but this is a guy that he's pretty solid. I mean, if you look at last season, in 26 of his 31 starts, he allowed 3 runs or less. He had a nightmare of an outing against the Angels where he gave up 9 runs, and that really hurt his overall ERA. And he's not a high velo guy. He averaged 90.6 miles per hour on his heater last season. He posted a 19.1 K percentage, but he also doesn't walk very many hitters. He had a 5.4 walk percentage. He throws strikes. He stays in the zone. He's a fly ball pitcher, so sometimes he gives up dingers, so that's another thing. But he does avoid hard contact. He does get hitters to chase on pitches outside of the zone. So a very interesting pickup for the Dodgers, a surprising pickup in my opinion. He definitely profiles as definitely a back of rotation type, a guy that is going to give the Dodgers starting rotation some more depth. So you add Anderson into that mix with guys like David Price and Andrew Heaney and Tony Gonsolin, and then you've got the up-and-comers, the Andre Jacksons and the Mitch Whites, and then there's the young guns that are getting close to making their big league debuts, the Ryan Pepios, the Bobby Millers, the Landon Knack. So this Dodgers starting rotation, they have solid depth, but my big question is, do you have those frontline guys that can win you a big postseason games? Those guys that you can really ride all the way way to a World Series title. Right now, of course, Walker Buehler is the ace, followed by Julio Urias as the number 2 starter, and then I think you slot Clayton Kershaw in there as the number 3 starter based on how he looks if he's feeling healthy, and then you talk about Tony Gonsolin and Andrew Heaney and the Tyler Anderson types. And then another big question when it comes to the Dodgers starting rotation is what's going to happen with Trevor Bauer. We saw that his administrative leave was extended until the middle of April, and if you talk to people around the league, they do anticipate he's going to receive some form of a suspension. But hey, until there's more information on that case, I'm not going to really touch on it because, look, we have to wait to see the facts come out and if Major League Baseball is going to suspend him. He was not criminally charged, so we'll wait and see when it comes to Trevor Bauer, but at least until the middle of April, until we have any idea of if there's going to be a suspension, how long is that suspension for. If you hear Dave Roberts, he's basically been saying coaches speak when it comes to Trevor Bauer. He's saying that he's going to focus on the guys that are in camp, but I wouldn't read too much into that. The big thing for Trevor Bauer right now is just getting Major League Baseball's decision. That is the biggest, most important, most significant development when it comes to Trevor Bauer, because once we get that, then we can better assess his future. We'll get some clarity. Will we have a retroactive suspension? Will he come back to the team and re-enter this Dodgers starting rotation? What will the Dodgers do with Trevor Bauer? Will they look to reinstate him and have him pitch for the team? Will they try to explore a trade for him? Will they try to cut him? It's really so much speculation at this point that, look, without that decision, without that ruling, it's really just kind of an exercise in futility. There's really no reason to do it. So I'll wait and see until all the information comes out to truly assess his future with this team. But this Dodger team, even with Trevor Bauer, I think that you would benefit from another frontline starter. Look, to me, Frankie Montas, he's due over $5.2 million next season. The Dodgers do have the prospects to get a deal done for a guy like Frankie Montas, and he wouldn't do so much damage to their already really high payroll. So I would like to see Montas, even maybe Cincinnati Reds, Tyler Mahle. You got Sean Manaea on the Oakland A's. I mean, Luis Castillo is the dream, but as of right now, the Reds have kind of made it clear that they're not ready to deal him just yet, and if they do, it's going to be for a massive haul. The asking price is going to be very high for Luis Castillo, so we'll wait and see on that. I think if you're the Dodgers, they told us last season when they acquired Max Scherzer that they think they need another ace to kind of bring them home. So I do think they're going to be in the market for another frontline starter at some point during the season, but you never know. Maybe they think one of these young guys can step up. Maybe they think Clayton Kershaw is going to be healthy. We'll see what they think about Andrew Heaney, who they know has the stuff. He's got the raw stuff. Maybe they can get him to be a revelation and just step up for this team. And then also, they're going to get Dustin May back at some point after the All-Star game. I do anticipate he'll be coming out of the bullpen. Maybe they'll use him as an opener or in some role like that. So look, this Dodger team, I think, needs to find another starter to step up, whether it be internally or externally. And look, I'm going to drop a whole video on that. But right now, you see they did bring back Danny Duffy. They expect him to be in that bullpen by the middle of this season. And then they signed Tyler Anderson to that $8 million deal. By the way, I'm sure Justin Turner, who owns Tyler Anderson, is going to be upset that he's not going to be able to face him this season. It's pretty much a guaranteed home run when he faces Tyler Anderson. But let me know down below in the comment section, what are your current thoughts on the Dodgers starting rotation? I'm going to drop a video on the rotation this weekend with some ideas of some players they can look at, some of the internal options, but we'll wait for the weekend for that. But there's the news right now. Give me your takes down below in the comment section. Is the signing of Tyler Anderson something, nothing, or everything? What are your expectations with Danny Duffy? The Dodgers added 2 lefties today, but I want all your takes down below. And what would you do? Would you make a big trade for the Dodgers? Do you think that they can fix it internally? What do you think is going to happen with Trevor Bauer? I want your takes down below. My name is Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA.